We're chasing comedy, working on jokes, working on bits, seeing what sticks, seeing what stinks. We're chasing comedy, politics and current events, cultural shifts and psychological bents, the daily news, your grandpa's views, conspiracy theories, trending Google queries. Either way, it's all okay. We're chasing comedy. So listen up and we'll lay it all out, whether you're seeking wisdom or zoning out. Have your fill, it's all just for the mill, with Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy. We're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.
Oh, he finally made it. What's up, buddy?
How you doing? How do I look?
You look amazing, as always.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
As always.
Where's the wheel?
Well, Brian seems to be jazzed for the wheel.
I love the wheel.
You don't love the wheel.
I love
You've
the
never
wheel.
loved the wheel. You've never loved the wheel.
Let me tell you something about the
you
wheel.
You love your 9 bits you want to keep working on.
The wheel is a game changer. The wheel is a game changer. Okay.
Those 9 bits that you want to make perfect.
Yeah,
that's all you care about. That's all you care about. You don't care about a wheel.
Okay, well, okay, wait a minute. Let's get into it, because you say this, and now I want to know, all right, let's go back on the record, Adam, and I want to know how many new pieces Dustin has said, I want to work on this. You know what I mean? Like I know that I'm a maniac when it comes to this stuff, but I always
you're going to lose this battle, but keep going. You're going to lose this one real quick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We got the wheel.
Yeah. No. Don't distract with the wheel. You go back to us. Let me talk about this.
Look, a wheel.
Here's the difference between you and I.
Wait a second. There's a wheel.
No. You brought up something, and I'm gonna address it. I know how to conversationally work on a bit, and then you always get confused, and you're like, "So, are we going to work on bits?" I go, "That 4 minutes of me talking, that was me working on the bit." And then you always go, ugh. They're all brand new things every single time. I've worked every single time. I bring a brand new premise. It's just I do it conversationally, so it sounds smoother on the ear than, hey, here we go. You guys ready for stand-up comedy? I'm just like, yeah, I'm talking to you about a thing that happened. That's the bit. That's the bit, whether it be at the driverless car at the light, or whether my girlfriend's got me on a diet. Those are all ways for me to I'm writing. I'm not just talking.
I wasn't implying that you
I
were.
wasn't implying. You were. No, I wasn't bringing new bits. Yeah.
I want to introduce into the record with the witness. I want to introduce in the record the idea, the concept of many times I have caught you've caught me doing this thing where I go, Are we writing now? Like, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. I have definitely heard myself do that. And I've gone, okay, now are we writing? And I know you're more like, yes, Brian, we've been writing for the last 48 minutes. Okay. I'm quite aware of my tendency to billboard these things. Okay. So you don't have to point that out to me. I'll just go, wait a minute. We're not talking now. We're writing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So is this, yeah. So, but I have this thing. It is a problem. It is a psychological issue that I have, like, these pieces that are so funny, and yet they're sitting on the bench. Some of these things have not made the team yet. Okay. And so then I go, do we just toss them, or do we work them out on chasing comedy? And I'm not even like objecting to what you're saying, because I understand it, that listening to us work on the same minutia is not exactly the most ideal kind of material necessarily for the electrifying performance that we want to give on here. And so that's guilty as charged. Okay. Because I still have this, I have several bits that we have tweaked on here and gotten so much better. And then there's other pieces that I'm still like, that bit doesn't, that bit still doesn't make any sense, or it's in the wrong place, or, so yeah.
No, we can rework. I don't mind reworking. You know,
no.
I just feel like it's just that should be more of the segment itself, where it's like this is the reworking thing. Maybe we need music or something where Brian's forced to wait for that segment, and then we kind of like go to the segment, and then there's like,
oh, you mean okay? So okay,
like
so we have a separate segment revisiting for the 90th time. Okay.
Yeah. A revisit section. So it's just like music or something that just makes it kind of like, so we're just not doing it every time we start the show. And so I think that would be a way to, just kind of separate it. That way that the beginning, because here's the deal with the podcast. People only listen for about 4 minutes and realize if they want to like jet to something else. So I think
maybe they're
4 minutes.
They're going to enjoy us yelling at each other about this. Right?
Oh,
maybe
I think so. I think so. I mean, that's our best episode. Me getting mad at you. Were you thinking I haven't started yet?
Yeah.
I'm smooth.
Because a lot of my pieces sometimes come out of what's going on. They may not be political based in terms of like, they're about current events necessarily, but they grow out of like. They grow out of what's going on in the world and people's psychological stuff. So like Elon Musk or something. And I'll be like, what is the deal with this guy and money and how people see the world? That guy's got money. I'm going to follow him, and so, or social media, the cancel culture stuff, and
I mean, I think people are beat to death with a lot of the political stuff. Really, I'm just kind of tapped out. I can't, because even Adam and I were talking about it. Like he doesn't think it's like something we should hammer all the time because it's like people are so exhausted from it. It's just, I know, everybody, like stand-up comics have a responsibility, but some don't. There's a lot of comics that don't go down that road. It's
right. Well, no, I mean, that's true. It's just that sometimes there are things that like I feel like are windows. Politics, what's going on in politics sometimes, unless you're be like Seinfeld, where it's like, okay, what's the deal with shower curtain rings? He
said that he never said that. What's the deal? He made have you heard that? He said he never did a what's the deal joke.
And is that, I don't know. Is it true?
It's true. It was just
I know he said it. But
no. I don't think he did. It was a sketch.
It doesn't sound
SNL.
like him. No, it actually doesn't sound like him to say, what's the deal?
Yeah, it was a sketch on SNL. They were making fun of him, but he said he never did a joke in that frame, which I think is very funny.
Okay, so yes, absolutely. I believe that. But he said things like, and why do we have that? What's that for? Like, why do we have,
I understand your fight. And the fight was basically, I was trying to get this on a platform that would get us millions of listeners and lots of money. And so you like fight it all the time. So, it's fine. We'll go political. It's fine.
No, we don't.
But you wanted, but I can't be dirty. I don't want to be dirty. I feel like that's, I want to at least keep it clean. So we're not going to get on the platform if we're political, but, But that's fine. So if we want to that was the point, was to get this on a platform that would get us more viewers and get us more listeners. That was the only point, and actually make real money. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine.
No, I'm not. This now we're talking about something separate, which is now we're talking about like should we go political, which is, or do we hammer the same bits? Now that's a separate argument. Okay, so
I'm just saying, there's a lot of
should
things.
we do dirty? Should we do political?
We've had this conversation 5 times. It's let's stop.
7 times.
Let's stop. Yeah. Just if something slips out political, it's fine, but we don't need to discuss it. It's fine. If you're talking about Elon, it's fine. I don't care. But
I have a question for you then. Like there is sometimes nothing. I don't see something that occurs to me that like I go, I want to write about that. Every week there's not something. There is like a new fleshing out of a particular piece that I want to turn into, some epic bit. That's the way I kind of write. Like it's like I have this bit and I want to make 3 more tags out of it. Now that could be insane. Because that's not the way everybody writes, but it's kind of like I come up with an idea for something like a dog with a bone, and I go, all right, I want to do this. Now that there's a difference between that and also my perfectionism, which is no, let that bit go. That bit crushes. It's good enough. That's a different thing than saying, this
No,
bit,
no.
there's more to this bit than.
No, I see what you're saying.
You know.
Yeah, and we all have a different ways to write. I hate everything I do, and so I don't think any of it is good. And so I'm still searching for more and more each time. I'm trying to find my, my free bird. I have it, and so I write every week. And I write brand new, like 10 jokes every week, brand new stuff. Is that new or is that old?
This is I love that. Okay. Well, I mean, I've got
Exactly.
Let me ask Adam. Did I do any? Well, I know this is not political. Is it? Did we talk about P. Diddy on the air?
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, that's what people want to hear. P. Diddy.
There we go. And scene, right? Like no one wants to hear about that.
P. Diddy.
Okay, great.
Hear about baby lotion or baby oil or whatever that is. Nobody wants to hear about it. They're done. The internet is flooded with this. They're done with it. They hate it. They hate P. Diddy. They hate Trump. They hate Musk. They hate all of it. It's gross.
Well, P. Diddy, I don't think is political, but okay, it could be
very political. He's not
How
political.
Is that political?
He's connected to so many politicians, and he's in the stream of these people, whether they're pedophiles or not.
I think you're confusing him with Epstein, right? Like P. Diddy's just
he is Epstein. He's the Black Epstein.
Are the Kardashians? Okay, are the Kardashians political?
They're tired. I'll tell you that.
Yes, I'll
just
say that.
That word makes me want to fall asleep. Just that name makes me want to pass out.
Well, okay, so maybe you talking about. Okay, but then I can't do that because then we're billboarding the piece. So let's just keep talking because I don't want to
you can't help
lead
yourself. Here we go, folks.
Yeah, let's do the bit. Okay, let's do the funny. I'm like going through my notes here. Okay, yeah, that does we covered that on the show. Hold on. Okay. I'm going, okay.
All right. You want me to
now that's political.
You want me to start?
Okay,
I'll start.
That's political.
I came to a realization of this. Let me step in here. All right.
Yeah.
So I wrote this piece and I will do it as a piece and not as conversationally because that confuses you. So
it does. Writing now, bing, bing,
hello,
bing. We need to have Adam get us some flashing lights. Writing piece now. Okay, get in some flashing. Writing warning. Writing warning.
Writing alert.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
We should do that as we need joke incoming.
Yeah.
Yes, we need more sound effects and game show music on this show. This is what I'm
wacky sound effects is all.
We're gonna get to the wheels soon. We're gonna do a lot of. It's gonna be a fun show.
Right.
So I was writing this bit on my faith kind of comes and goes. Like you know what I mean. Like sometimes I believe in God, sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes I believe in manifestations. I'll cut out a picture and put it, of a car or something and be like, whatever. Then I feel ridiculous and I'll tear it down. And the jury is still out whether I believe in karma or ghost. But if my dog barks at you and won't stop barking, I 100% believe that you're a bad person. Like there's nothing, nothing that's going to tell me different.
Right. Okay. Well,
like you've done something bad in your, I don't know if you did something bad in college, like you buried a body, but Lacey Jane knows what you did last summer. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying.
So you bow, wow. You bow to, you bow wow. You bow to your Lord is someone you bow or bow wow to. I mean, there's okay.
Is it my Lord or is it just I just like trust the instincts of my dog? I don't know. I'm making it the God. I didn't think about that.
Dog spelled backwards. There you go. Right. Okay. It's dog spelled backwards. It's God.
Well, I do like, I feel like they're like little Jedi Knights, they have this like sense.
Well, I think that the connecting those two concepts is I'm not sure what the connection is that we have to explore that. So like, it's like, I don't believe in some supernatural being, but if what kind of dog is it?
It's a rescue Chihuahua pit bull.
Okay, if my pit bull, I mean, you have to be
Chihuahua
specific.
pit
Obviously,
bull.
for the guy.
It's
My
a Chihuahua pit bull. There was a ladder
barks at-
involved. Yeah.
gives you a side eye. Okay, I believe that he is tapped into universal cosmic consciousness. Okay, if my pit bull barks at you sideways. Okay, I think he's tapped in. I trust his judgment. Now, somebody else might say, well, what does that have to do with believing in a supreme being? Like, I don't, basically what you're saying is that I have more faith in my dog's judgment about the world or insight that my dog has. Like, what happened?
Is it that deep, or is my dog just an FBI profiler? You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Well, that's a very good, that's a very good point. Your dog could be an FBI profiler. Yes.
I mean,
yeah. So no, okay. So you don't believe in God. Let's go over this again.
No, I did not say that. I said my faith comes and goes like everyone else's. Where sometimes
right, but your faith in your dog is universal. It's 24/7. Yeah.
I want to make that. I'm not saying I don't believe in God. I'm saying sometimes my faith comes and goes. Like I believe, and then I have a thing, and then I go back and forth. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, but if you believe in a universal truth about your dog, then it's not. Then you must know that that there's some universal wisdom or something, some universal intelligence created that dog. I don't know.
That's a little too deep for a dog that doesn't like you joke. Or a dog that smells your dog joke.
Yes. I don't have faith in God. Yeah. I don't have faith in God, but my dog is like,
whoa, what's that noise? Okay. Jesus.
That was
Hey, come on.
Hello.
Yeah. Listeners love that. Just
yeah. We need. Hey, you said you wanted wacky sound effects. That's
true. That is pretty wacky.
Yeah.
Now we hear Adam. This show is just chaos. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's muted.
So let's go over this again. We've got your dog elicits. You have your faith. Well, I would call yourself faith fluid. Because you change almost.
I don't know. I don't know if it's too much. It's more about like there's certain things that like people believe in, horoscopes or manifestations or God or whatever, and they're connected to that. And then it's like ghosts and things. And I'm like, I'm not sure if aliens exist or all these things exist. But I believe whatever my dog's doing, I believe you're a bad person because he's doing it. Because she's doing it. Like,
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I like the joke as it is. I think it's just more about just like if there's any sort of like, I don't know.
If there's something more there.
Yeah, because I'll just be like, I don't care if it's my mom. I don't care if it's, my best friend, whatever. Like if my dog doesn't like you, something's up. Like I automatically I've lost trust in you. Like there's something doesn't feel right,
Yeah. So you have unwavering faith.
She doesn't like a lot of people. So there's a lot of people that I've had to get rid of in my life because of my dog. That's funny.
Well, I mean, you've got an open season to talk about that God is, you worship at the house of Petco or whatever. I mean,
you're going that way. I'm going more like I hadn't talked to somebody in 6 months because my dog barked at him. You know what I mean? Like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I don't think God has to be folded into that. Like meaning that's a great. I don't believe anyone I know. I don't trust anyone's judgment, including God. But the one consistent in my life is that I go to consult with my dog about human character. I trust my dog to be better than any therapist to determine if my dog doesn't like you, you're out. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I shouldn't say anything about the God thing because I feel like I don't want to make that statement.
No. And it's irrelevant.
Well, it's not that it's irrelevant. It's like I'm talking about the universe of things that I believe in, whether like karma. Like karma is a thing. Everybody believes in karma. I don't know if I believe in karma, but I do believe in my dog not liking you is a sign that you're a bad person.
Yeah, no, I think what you're doing is I think the observation of your dog's judgment is a really funny area for exploration. I just think the connective tissue between the God and the thing is a shaky, like meaning that it's too grandiose a thing. I don't know. I feel like I like the idea.
It depends on what religion you are, because karma in certain religions is very higher power.
Yes.
So it just depends. I mean, anything if I say karma, maybe I could just say I don't believe in aliens or ghosts or karma or something. I don't know. I do like the manifestation thing because it's like people are so stupid into that. So I think it'd be
I don't trust my own judgment about people, because all I know is like if I like you and my dog doesn't, you're out.
Yeah.
That's like my dog overrules me when it comes to my friends and my family. Like, you could be the coolest person in the world, but if my dog looks at you side eye, I'm not returning your calls, like you're out of my life forever. That's something very funny about the idea that your dog is the final arbiter, and your dog is decides who you let into your life, because that's a lot of pressure. Every time you get into a new relationship, they have to audition for the dog, like they've got to now it's like meeting the parents. With you, it's not the parents, because your parents you're estranged from. But this is my pit bull. And you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I met this great guy online, but I'm meeting his dog today. I've got it's a big moment, but I haven't met his dog yet. There's something very funny about the fact that you're allowing your dog to make determinate evaluations of all of your social circle. There's something. No one gets into Dustin's social circle unless they get past the guard dog, and there's something to be said for that, and also something insane about that.
Oh, it's very insane, but it's the truth. It's like because
that's a lot of
No, it's like Leah's. Her parents had this housekeeper or whatever, and the dog just won't let up on her, and it's just and they love her. She's like a family friend and everything, and it's like a situation when we go home, and I'm just like, we got to take the dog somewhere or whatever. The dog just won't stop barking. It doesn't matter where the dog is. It can be across the street. It knows that person's in the house. It just won't stop barking. And so so they're just very upset by it, and because she's the only one that it really goes crazy over.
Well, you may not know this, and I wrote this in a script that I wrote. That some people, do you know why there are lions outside the library? This reminds me of the lions outside the library thing. Do you know
to eat the dumb people? I don't know what.
Well, you're close. It's basically they're put there as symbolic representations of in ancient times. They would have those to scare away, because the library was seen as this place where all of the wisdom was, and only a strong person should be allowed to enter there. And the lions are like symbols of the test of the hero of the person to go into the library. They're supposed to scare away anybody like scarecrows. They're supposed to scare away. A lion's supposed to scare away anybody who doesn't have the wisdom to be able to handle the intellectual canon of a particular culture. And so your dogs are like that.
Here's your joke. Here's your joke. They should put those in front of voting booths.
Yeah, that's funny. I think they should have those in voting booths. Yeah, so that they can bye. Yeah, there you go. Right.
See, you can get a little political. That works. That's good.
Wow,
That's good. You got the lion joke. You get the lion joke. I love it.
I got the lion joke.
You should use that.
Yeah, your dog is what is it? What do they call? They're sentries. They're like the guys outside of Studio 54. You know what I mean? Like the
bouncers,
the doormen, the guys, the screeners, the guys outside.
I take it more of like I see dead people though. More of a sixth sense is what I see it. Like she has a sense of like things you've done. Like I was trying to go down that road where it's just like you come off as a good person, but you've done something bad in your life, and my dog.
I know, but I get that. You obviously, if my dog doesn't like you, you obviously have like a criminal record.
You buried
Let's
a
get
body.
to the bottom of this. You know, there's something up with you, because my dog is a very good judge of character, way more than I am. I will defer to my dog on just about anything. I bring him to job interviews. I like you have like there's something about an emotional support animal, like my social screener. He's my emotional support. He's my social screener. If he doesn't like you, I don't care how good a person you are.
Well,
If
he's
Mother
not my emotional support dog, because I do a whole joke on like my dog can't handle my emotions, so there's no way that my dog could. I spare my dog my emotions because she couldn't handle it.
Right. So yeah. Okay. So he's your emotional. I mean, what you're his emotional? What? How does that work? You need an emotional support dog for your dog. You need an emotional support ferret.
Well,
or something
she does
for your
have
dog?
one. I did get a dog for my dog, but
okay, good. This is like. It's like an infinity pool. It never ends. You're going to get a ferret for the dog and a goldfish, and then it just keeps going down the food chain. You know what I mean? And then
I got a frog for my fish.
I get the frog, and I got an emotional support thing for the dog. There you go. And then you got like brine shrimp to feed the fish, and then. At the end of the day, you realize I just need another therapy session because this is ridiculous. You've got Dr. Doolittle in your living room. You've got emotional support. It's now become SeaWorld and a zoo in your living room because you have so much emotion. There's so much emotional support and a lot of fragility. Okay,
from mammal to creature to amphibian.
There's a lot of so basically there's a lot of in your life. It consists of a tremendous amount of zoological fragility, right? Right. There's like very little. There's no one can handle anything. You know what I mean?
Very
like
Noah's Ark over here.
Yeah, that's right. You've got Noah's Ark you've got a Noah's Ark therapy session in your living room. Like oh wait, that's my dog and that's his emotional support ferret, and then he has an emotional support muskrat, and then the muskrat has an emotional support flea, and then the flea's get.
You don't hear muskrat a lot.
Yeah, always muskrat. Always.
You know what I think we need right now? I think we need the magic premise wheel.
I think this sounds like a time for the premise wheel. Yeah.
Premise wheel. Mm-hmm. Adam, are you ready? There it is. Here we go.
I'm ready.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's go.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's see what we're gonna get.
Let's see what we get on the wheel. Everybody drum roll.
And we got ooh, this is right on the edge. We got houseplants.
Okay, okay.
Can I buy a vowel?
Can I vote for another spin? Right?
Wait. Do you want
Yeah, can I get another spin? Nobody was talking about house.
I do have a bit. I do have a bit for that, but it may be too. No, it's not good for the show. Okay, moving on.
What do you got? We'll do one more spin. One more spin.
Or unless you want to do the one that's right on the edge and it's self-checkout.
We can do self-checkout.
Self-checkout?
Yeah. Self-checkout.
Yeah, we do self-checkout.
Yeah, self-checkout. I mean, although we could get very political on this.
How do you get political on self-checkout?
I don't want to become an employee when they say, would you like to use the self-checkout aisle? Have we done this already?
I don't know. I think we have.
The
wheel doesn't count. The wheel is like whatever. We have to.
Well, the woman said, "Would you like to use the self-checkout aisle?" And I said, "Sure. What's your health plan? If I'm going to be an employee here, I want to know what my benefits are. And how much. Yeah. What are we paying? I didn't be offered a job position here." But I'm excited to join the workforce, right? I don't know. There's something funny about the fact that you're now doing a job that they used to pay someone to do, and you're not getting compensated,
Yeah. Well, we talked about this last time and you got mad at me and I was just like, hey, look, sometimes you got to take a free Snickers. You know what I mean? If you're too stupid to set the situation up, I'm going to take a Snickers sometimes.
There you go. I'm
Native American. I could steal stuff back. That's how it works.
That's right. Well, I mean, your particular pathology with kleptomania is something we can explore comedically here, right?
The self-checkout is enabling it. Like, just to have a person. Like, it's just why I don't have liquor in my house, because I'm a alcoholic. It's like don't have a situation.
Oh, that's funny.
Way too easy. Like, what I mean? Like,
you're making it. Yeah. You're dangling it right there.
I'm a dirtbag. I'm a recovering dirtbag. I'm not going to act like I'm not. I come from a long line of dirtbags.
That's right. You can't do that. Don't wear a short skirt in front of lecherous guys.
Wow. Well, I wouldn't.
They can't control themselves.
That's all Brian, by the way. Ladies, dress however you want. Dress however you want. We're not doing the premise of accused right now. We were just doing a light joke about stealing a Snickers.
I'm saying I'm introducing the logical conclusion of your premise. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. With a Me Too canceled vibe. Or anyway.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So you're saying that you're going to dangle a Snickers? You can't.
It's so stupid. Walmart stopped doing it. Like especially with the way groceries are right now. People are like, all right, man, this is stupid. You're just setting people up.
They did stop doing it.
They did in Burbank where we go. Yeah, they stopped all the checkouts. I don't know if it's everywhere, but right here it is. California is kind of the staple. But yeah, we'll see. But it's like, just don't. I don't know. But I agree with you. It's like, this like I don't work here. Like I worked at a grocery store. My first job, like 5 years of my, adolescence, I've worked at a grocery store. So it's like gives me trauma. I'm thinking like, I'm sacking groceries again. I thought I went to college. Now I'm like, that's funny. Now I'm like back to sacking groceries.
But this is all the idea of technology being able to do things, and then being able to do a job that human beings are able to do, and people see that as something that like, oh, of course that's the way technology works, so that we can do other things. And I'm always like, well, I don't need to check myself out. I was perfectly happy with the person checking me out. I don't know what. I don't know. This is weird to me.
Well, just don't have both. Just don't have both. Like, if you're going to do it, like I saw a store one time at the airport and there was nobody worked in it. It was not one. There wasn't a person inside the store, and it was all like you take your thing, and obviously it's all watching you or whatever. So I'm not stealing Snickers at the airport. You'll definitely get detained.
Yeah.
But it was nobody there, so it makes sense. It's like a big vending machine. Like you're just like grabbing it and going. But to have a person and a self checkout is
that's funny. There's something funny about that. Like at the airport, how come the TSA isn't self checkout? Like why can't I frisk myself? You know what I mean? Like why are we farming that one out to other people, and yet I can't buy a Zagnut bar? I gotta go through the self checkout. But the real arduous stuff, we got some guy. I don't know what they're making over there, but I got to go through a strip search and have my. I got to have. I'm trying to come up with a clean way to say a taint frisk. Right?
That's the name of your next album.
Taint friskers. I got to get the taint friskers to do that.
New show.
But the self checkout people, Trader Joe's needs that. But like, look, I think we should, if we're going to go all out on the technology, then we should just be able to waltz through the TSA, which that's way more annoying. I had no problem but I do have a problem with the TSA taking that job on. So let's farm that out to the robots. I don't care if R2D2 gives me a reach around, but I don't need some electronic guy with Stephen Hawking voice.
Here's the deal. I will say this about what you just said, which is great. But with the TSA, I don't want to go down this, traumatic road for people, but the TSA failed us. But I don't think the checkout at Target has failed us. So it would make sense to have robots step in, So I get it with the TSA thing, but it's just like, tragedy hasn't happened when I had 12 items or less. You know what I mean? Like there hasn't been, it's like, there hasn't been any need for the robot there. Do we need robot backup at the airport? Absolutely. I think we should do face scanners,
robot TSA agency.
Scanners, like make sure there's no terrorism. Like I get all that. That makes sense. Yeah. Like I don't care. At the airport, I'll do everything. I'll scan my eye. I'll put my thumbprint. I don't care. I don't plan on breaking the law. I don't care if my stuff's out there. But it's but at Target, it's like, calm it down. I don't need
Yeah. If we're
McDonald's has a kiosk, it's like, all right, dude.
Yeah, I don't need I don't need Blade Runner at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And what's
okay.
Yeah. It's like keep that at the airport.
Suddenly, look, I'm buying kettle corn.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I'm buying kettle corn, and I've got Blade Runner. That's so freaking funny. I don't know why that's so funny. Suddenly Blade Runner has to go there. I think, I got Daryl Hannah and Blade Runner or whatever. I don't even know who's in that movie.
Lucasfilms over here. I'm just trying
to
get through the.
There's something that's really funny. There's something so funny.
Just try to feed my fat face.
Yeah. I'm kettle corn and coconut milk, and I got Blade Runner going through my bag. But meanwhile, the TSA guys, I got some guy making $4.50 an hour. Who failed out of DeVry?
There's a full camera. Yeah. There's a full camera at the checkout. It's crazy.
And he gets to give me a taint frisk.
I'd rather have a taint frisk at Whole Foods than that.
Wait a minute, the taint friskers. They're basically taint friskers, is what they are.
I mean,
I don't even know.
But
okay,
so that's sad. I think we did pretty good on that, huh, Adam?
Yeah, there you go.
That was fun.
You want to spin the wheel again? Since we did so well on that one,
it was good. We could share that bit, Brian. You do like we'll just share it. If we're on the same show, it's like we won't do it. But if nobody's gonna know.
Next week we'll put side by side video of you doing your version and doing my version, and then people vote on it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Will it be?
Right.
Will it be? What do you want to call your version? What do you? Mine is going to be Taint Friskers.
Taint Friskers,
which sounds like a really crappy cat food, right?
Might just call it a setup. I just feel it's the whole thing's a setup for a for a dirtbag setup.
And mine will be Taint Friskers, right?
I love it.
From new delicious Taint Friskers for your cat. Okay, what's the new? Are we spinning the wheel again?
Why not? Yeah, spin it again.
We could spin it again. All right.
Blade Runner is Blade Runner at
Whole Foods.
Whole Foods is solid to me.
That is funny.
All right, let's see what we got.
As long as it's not houseplants.
Right.
Oh, we just did that one.
What is it?
Dumb technology.
Dumb technology. Let's go to the one. Let's go to the one to the left, which is a pretty good one. Unrealistic fears.
Why don't you explain that to us? Fears. Explain that to us, Adam.
Yeah. All right. So it would be like, I don't know, maybe like a snake in a toilet or
snake in a toilet.
Snakes in an airplane. Snakes in an airplane toilet. A sequel to Snakes on a Plane. Snakes in an airplane toilet by Adam Holtz.
Snake in a toilet. Like, what kind of weekend are you having?
Wait a second. That's a legitimate fear. Freud. There's something Freudian about that.
Right. Oh, like people that have like glorophobia and stuff like that. Is that what this is, or no? That's no.
Yeah, we got
like making fun of people's real phobias.
How about I have an unrealistic fear of houseplants? Or I also have an unrealistic fear of houseplants as a comedic premise, right? I
have a fear I'm going to get arrested at Target for like 15 Snickers over the years.
Yeah, right. There you go. Unrealistic fears, well, like there's no basis in being afraid of that.
Right. It could be like an irrational fear of a situation or like an object or.
Oh, well, I always think I collected snakes as a kid, so I always think snakes is a weird fear. I don't understand why people are afraid of snakes. My girlfriend is always afraid of snakes. She's always freaking out about snakes. If she sees a snake on TV, she freaks out about it. Okay, and like I would pick up any snake anywhere. I mean, a poisonous one. I know my basic snake. Genealogies that I'd be able to spot that one and not pick it up because I did. I picked up a board at the Okefenokee Swamp one time. I picked up this huge board and there was a water moccasin under it, which is a very poisonous, fairly poisonous for America snake. And I recognized it right away. And I go, okay, I'm putting this back down. Right.
My grandmother was crazy. she hated snakes. I mean, she was just
what's that about? Yeah, what's that about? I never understood.
Well,
that.
I think I mean the beginning of time. I mean the Bible, for example. I mean the snake has always been the evil creature. You know.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
First,
they got a bum rap, man. Snakes got a bum rap.
The snake's got the first villain was the snake. You know.
That's really funny.
Page
the first
3.
Movie, yeah. Well, think about it. You got a whole animal kingdom, and just the snake. That's really, and they call people who stab you in the back snakes.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. And like, that guy's a snake. Don't trust him. And they're like, the poor snake is just what did I do? How did I get all of this? Negativity. What the hell's going on?
You know what? I mean, I do like snakes, but I do see. I don't. It is difficult to watch them eat other mammals. They're pretty like, they're.
You ever see a pride of lions?
Pretty savage.
You ever see a pride of lions on a gazelle? Come on,
yeah,
man.
But I don't have a pride of lions in my room. I'm just saying, every time I've seen a snake eat, it's some dude's house whose room looks like Hot Topic. You know what I mean?
Well, I always
it's got glow in the dark posters, and then I'm sitting there and I have to watch this poor little mouse just run for its life. You're not talking about documentary on PBS.
Well, a guy got the idea of pets, what they connote and what they explain, and you can tell me if I've said this joke before, but I said like a snake. You say a guy who owns a snake. What is that communicating? You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. Like a guy, like some guy who takes a snake.
I had a bit about this. We talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me. And I don't know, maybe I mentioned it, but my joke was nothing to do with snakes. It was like nothing scarier than a woman who owns a parrot.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing more frightening to me than a woman in her dating profile who owns a parrot. Right. Like there's something. There is not a woman who owns a parrot that isn't mentally ill. Right. Like just like, I really think there's something deep. And we're going to get letters now. We're going to get angry emails. I'm just saying,
that would mean people listen to the show. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. I like the idea.
I mean, first of all, you're taking a bird that can fly and you're sticking them in a cage. There's something.
Okay, I have a funny bird story. So I agree with you 100% on this. Like, I think birds should not be in a cage. I've had my whole life. I've felt that way. And I remember I had this girlfriend. And I was pretty young. I was maybe before comedy. I think it was before, around the same time I started. And I was, I guess her friend found a bird. It was like a white parakeet. And it just had somehow wound up on the ledge of her window or something. And then she took it in and then ended up kind of making it, her pet and put it in a cage and everything. And then my girlfriend at the time, she's very upset by it. She's like, what is going on? Whatever. And so, I one day I just was over there before she got home, and then I went into her roommate's room and I opened the cage and I let the bird free. So it flew out and it just flew into the whatever in New York City, like it's not going to get eaten by a pigeon.
Really?
And then, well, let me finish. And then she got home, whatever. And I told my girlfriend, and she was just like, what are you doing? She's like panicking and freaking out. She's like, my roommate's going to kill me, whatever. So then I went in Manhattan to every pet store looking for a white parakeet.
Oh, God.
So I was looking, I go, do you have a white one? Like, no. Try this store.
Wait. Did she know that you had lost the bird?
No.
Oh, so you were going to, you were just going to just swap out another bird.
Before she got home. Yeah. And so I'm going to all the pet stores and I'm looking for like a white parakeet so I can beat the roommate before she got home from work. And so I'm running, I'm going to like this pet store.
That's hilarious.
And it was way back when. So I don't even think there was a Petco. It was just like more Pet Land or something. In New York City. And so I'm like looking, and I found one, and I finally found one. And then, but it had some sort of like feather mange. And so it was like missing feathers, so it had like a bald neck, but it had a white head, and it looked so So I put it in the cage. And then
That's hilarious.
and then we're just chilling out in her room and stuff, be like, hey, listening to the Cure or whatever.
Oh,
and then
that's
she comes
hilarious.
in, and then she's just like, she's screaming like, what happened to the bird? And then she goes, this is not my bird. And we're like, what do you mean it's not your bird? I think it just lost some feathers. And it's like, it was this whole
That
thing.
is the greatest gaslight story I've ever heard. I can see just seeing you sitting there smoothing minoxidil on the bird to grow right.
Yeah, but I had about an hour. I had an hour to get feathers back on this bird.
I can see you gluing. You're getting crazy glue. Like you've got an arts and crafts kit. You're throwing feathers on top of the thing to get them to. Yeah. You're gonna pose.
I thought about it. I thought I'd go. Is there a Michaels in this town? Like, can I get feathers and a glue gun?
That's hilarious. Like, and like the bird is supposed to pull like a Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can and impersonate the other bird and act like him. You know, like he doesn't even know. You know, like what the other bird's temperament
was so mangy.
Yeah. Like what if I just showed up and shoved another dog at your place? You know what I mean?
Oh, it was great. But no, I'm sure people have tried that, the lost cat or whatever. I'm sure somebody, like a black cat, looks like a black cat. I mean, that's a pretty easy one.
What difference does it make?
A white parakeet, is pretty rare. And then it was just like, it was so funny because I remember going into the store and they were like, I go, do you have a white parakeet? I go, actually, we do, but it's got some problems. I was like, good enough. I was like, let's go. I was like, the only one that wanted to buy this parakeet.
Wait a minute. You bought it used?
It's a pet store.
Like
it's a pet store.
I know that. My point being, was it previously owned, like on eBay or something?
I think it was just like there was no eBay. There was just
I know, but did you get a discount?
I don't remember. I had a 20-year-old brain. I don't remember.
I know that, but they should knock a few bucks off the bird for you know what I mean if it's got damage.
But I was just so excited to find a white parakeet before 5 p.m. So I was like, let's do it. Wrap it up. Let's go.
Yeah, this is a Martin Scorsese movie. Like this is like After Hours where you're you know what I mean? Like you're having this. We've got 24 hours to replace the bird. Okay, it's called Replace the Bird. It's a new game show. How about this? Sounds like a real great
like Snake Plissken, like
reality show where we kidnap. We go to people's houses and we take their pets, we steal them, and then replace them with a duplicate, and we see if they can tell the difference. Right now, of course, obviously, this have some moral questionable aspects to it, but still, like,
I think we should take it even further. Do it with people's kids.
Yeah. I think most people would be thrilled. I think most people wouldn't even blink. Okay, I say we replace the kids with a pet, like a bird, and I think they'd be a lot better off. Right? Yeah. A kid with feathers. That would be funny if you glued feathers to a kid and just shoved him in the bird cage, and then they would go, wait a minute, that looks different from. Okay, we're taking this a bit too far, but anyway,
no, you are. You are.
I am. I always do. This is what I do. I just want Adam to be feverishly putting together some AI movie clip of you or someone who looks like you going from pet store to pet store, trying to find a duplicate bird that looks even remotely similar. Because how many pet stores are in a town? If one's out, you don't have. There's 5 other pet stores in town. Yeah. So I want to get to the bottom of this story.
Well, let's just say we broke up, me and the girl, shortly after this whole,
and deservedly so. Deservedly so.
Oh, come on! I was the savior of the bird. I was like, that was me. I was trying to save and then when I saw there was a problem, I tried to fix it. That's a solid man, right?
This is morally questionable.
No, it's not. It's totally like, let's let the bird free. And then once the girl's upset, okay, I'll fix it. Like, I was like, I'm the perfect man. I have both sides to me.
That would be funny if you showed up with a snake instead of a bird. And
snake ate the bird.
The snake ate the bird. Yeah. Because birds, by the way, snakes are cool that way. They eat rodents, other snakes. Yeah, they eat everything. They'll eat anything that moves. All right. Well, there's something there. I mean, there's a story there.
I'll tell that story. Yeah, I thought about it. It's like a funny, crazy story. I don't think I've ever popped it out on stage, but it's definitely like a ridiculous part of my life where it's just like, but the two sides I have in my soul, where I'm just like this free hippie. And then at the other side of me, he's like, oh, I got to fix this and do it, So it's like,
But I mean, the thread here is that you, with your dog thing, they can recognize dogs can recognize stuff. They're very intelligent. You have a bond with them. But then you were so callous, and this other person's. Meanwhile, I'm swapping out somebody and just replacing it, thinking she would never know the difference. That's like I know my dog and I have such a psychic bond, but this woman with her parrot,
a white parakeet that she knew a day and a half.
Yeah. A day and a half. Okay. That's no time to
found it on her windsill and then went out and bought a cage. And I was like, dude, this bird was so happy to finally, this is funny. This bird was so happy to finally taste a little bit of freedom. And so it's like, and then you just like automatically just put it right in the cage.
I think this is a really warped Maya Angelou poem. I know why the cage bird weeps, right?
Yeah,
right.
We're all just a rat in a cage, baby.
Yeah. Well, the bird was happier. That's the funny part. If the bird turned himself in at the pet store, right? Like the bird that you let loose, like he just showed up. What does he know? It's like, wait a second. This is good. What if it's like Shawshank? Like where they let the guy out on the street and he doesn't want to do that. He wants to be back in the cage, Like the bird shows up on the ledge going, it's a nightmare out there.
That's probably what it was. I bet the bird was just like, oh my gosh, have you seen the size of these pigeons and rats?
Yeah,
what's going on? Like, get me in here, man. Because I had it good, man.
Yeah, they don't know how good they got it. They want to fly away and then they show up like
mirrors,
a week later.
A little pecking thing. You got seed every day. Yeah.
He's missing feathers. Water. He got mange out there on the streets.
That other bird was probably out on the streets for a little too long. That's probably
That's right. Happened. He turned himself into the pet store, right?
He like walks up to the. It's like, dude, come on. That's so funny.
You got a cage here that I can fit in because.
Or just like your Shawshank thing, like committed a crime to get back in the joint.
It's Brooksy. It's Brooks from Brooks was here. He hangs himself after they let him out. Remember that? It's like from Shawshank. The old guy. He's been in too long. He doesn't want to get out.
The whole way. He actually had a bird. Just if you want to go back to it.
That's right. He was fitting. This whole thing fits together. He actually was feeding it worms and maggots and stuff like that. Yeah.
And they took his bird, and it was like, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Terrifying. All right. Well, at least we got you a bit.
You're welcome to do a bit anytime.
I'm joking. Just
because you can't flow the magic, don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me.
I'm blaming you. I'm blaming you and the wheel. Okay.
All right, dust out one of those bad boys. What do you got? We'll end it with one of your dusties. Let's go. What do you got? We got 5 minutes.
One of my dusties?
Yeah. What do you got? This is the revisit time.
Revisit. It's time to revisit. Time to revisit. I don't have it.
Okay. Anyway, back to the wheel. Back to the wheel.
Back to the wheel. I think we got to run back to the wheel. Okay. I think we got to get back to the wheel because I don't think I have anything. I mean, I have one, but we beat it to death on 4 different.
Well, occasions. I got one. I think this is funny. My girlfriend, she has a lot of guy friends, which is like, she's a comic and a hussy. No, I'm kidding. But she, like when a girl has a lot of guy friends, it's like, you have to be the progressive male. You got to be like, well, okay, that's cool. I'm modern. I could deal with this. Like she's got guy friends, no big deal. But I can't help it but take a few digs at the guy friends. I'm like, oh yeah, how's Brandon? How's he doing? Yeah, he's still unemployed, right? Is he still unemployed? Cool. What about Charles? Well, he gained some weight, huh? I saw like a post of him. Like it's just like you're always trying to knock him a little bit.
Okay, so this is masculine This is a bit about masculine fragility.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Great. So you got it. You have to set these guys up like a shooting gallery, and it's like, but you have to be the guy that's like, oh, totally supportive. You're not threatened, but of course, you can't pass up a single opportunity to knock every one of these guys down a peg. In order, you know what I mean, to protect your hegemony, your relationship hegemony. Like okay, how's Adam? Is he still is he still unemployed? He's still collecting unemployment? Is that guy? He gained a little weight there.
Such a nice guy. Yeah.
Sweet guy. So this is
that's funny. Like you compliment him, but then you say the thing. That's
nice guy. Is he still unemployed? Yeah. Right. Yeah. right? Not using that degree that he got. Anyway, what's for dinner? You know, like you just got to shoot down the guys, every one of them. But I mean, there's got to be more on the bone here. But like something about me, but I do get jealous. Then I find myself saying passive aggressive things. She goes, I was out with Dustin today, and I was out with Jeff, and he was this, I talk. Where were you today? Where were you before? I was out with Jeff. I'm like, oh, the unemployed guy.
Yeah,
like that's your lead in. Like every is that the guy with the bald spot and the
guy with the lazy eye? Is the guy with the lazy eye?
Yeah, the lazy eye, always funny. Lazy eye. Is he the guy with the lazy eye, or he's the guy on unemployment? Or both. I don't know which one is he. Like the guy
who's battling with his sexuality. That guy? Is that the guy?
That guy. Yeah, the ultra feminine guy that gives off like gay vibes. Yeah, that guy. Okay, good. I was just wondering because I didn't know.
Because you can hang out with that guy more often. I'm okay.
Yeah, I think you should hang out with that guy more often. You know what I mean? Like
the cage. Your best friend cage fighter. Let's give that guy a break.
Yeah. Does he own a bird?
That's how you do it, folks. That's how you do it.
Right?
And
you should buy him a bird. Right?
A bird.
Yeah.
I'll replace that bird.
Get a bird for that guy. Yeah.
All right. This was fun, guys. Follow us, like us. Help us get this podcast out of the first round. We're trying to get to the next level, guys.
Adam is getting some footage of a bird flying or Adam running some, something. I don't know what he's doing. That's a good
story. Yeah, if you want to chop that up. But see how the StreamYard thing does.
Well, folks, that's our show. It's time for us to go. Make sure to follow us, give us a like, drop us a comment, and always subscribe. We're chasing comedy on all the socials. We hope you had a gas, had some laughs, and maybe you learned something too. Until next time, we're Brian and Dustin, and we're chasing comedy.